Hey guys, how you doing? Yesterday, I think a lot of my readers is happy if you're still holding the semiconductor stock. Um, I hope you did not sell. I hope you did not sell them out, right? NVIDIA stock yesterday it soars nearly 10%, 9.8% yesterday, right after the closing bell, right? Then, and I call it this is a work from home storm, despite the Russian-Ukraine war and the interest rate. I call the last quarter is a work from home storm because a lot of stock last year rise up crazily because of the work from home storm. But now the COVID-19 is over in USA, is nearly over. So a lot of the stock, they should return to the original share price and the value that they should be. And the most typical example is Zoom, right? It dropped a lot because the performance is not supporting. But NVIDIA is different. So yesterday, then NVIDIA soars back nearly 10% on the share price. And I just want to repeat, because in few weeks before, I analyzed the NVIDIA's result in Hong Kong channel. So today I'm going to quickly repeat on that. So you can have something in your mind that does NVIDIA still a growth stock? Or should you still hold this stock? And not only NVIDIA yesterday, share price shows up. Also AMD and Intel also shows up, right? Something like 5% and something like 7%, something like that, right? So we have some news on NVIDIA and I will let you know in a minute. So our Falcon portfolio quickly now is 26 months already, 26 months already. Quickly bounce back to 72%. I think that for 26 months, right, we have a turbo drop in past 2 or 3 months. And I think that even like that, then after 26 months, our portfolio has an increment of 72% is not bad, right? This is what I'm thinking. So welcome to leave your message under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me for anything you want me to analyze, right? By our email as usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. So this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio, and now of course it's nearly a double, nearly 600,000 already, and our portfolio performance is 72%, but we are still a little bit far away from the Nasdaq performance. The Nasdaq performance is 83%. So I'm thinking on that, right? I'm thinking on that. So please wait for me. So this year our portfolio's loss is 10%. And this is our covering. And I call that is the work from home storm. I'm pretty sure it's over already. So NVIDIA stock prices, then it should return back to the value that she should be. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that will it continue to rise up? So here is the answer. And let us introduce the Dow Jones performance yesterday first, right? And then yesterday, then it rise up 349 points, right? So you can see that it just 2,200 points from the peak, right? 2,200 points from the peak, and it is less than 10%, just 7%, something like that. And for the Nasdaq, right, it's about 2,000 points to the peak. So 2,000 points is just about 16%, right? So not difficult. And this is yesterday NVIDIA stock prices graph. So you can see that after the dip, there's a big dip in past few months. The dip is from the highest point about $346 and then down to quite low, right? Something like 220, but it dropped at about, wow, not small, right? 120 US dollar per share. That is something like more than 58%. And it quickly bounced back to yesterday, 281.5. So yesterday bounced up 9.81%. So let us review some few headlines first. Then we go to NVIDIA. We always said that I've been just few months. Then I've been in the stock market in Hong Kong and America. Hong Kong is the longest one, right? About 25 years. In USA stock market is more than 14 years, 14 years. That is not a short time, especially in Hong Kong stock market. In Hong Kong stock market is nearly more than 24 years now. 24 years is quite a long time. In the stock market, if this is free economy, then it's like a madman. So you can see from the screen, right? And the Wall Street analyst said that sustainable investing is being shaken up. And just by a few weeks before, they said that it's dying. It's dying because the interest rate is adding, and there's the Ukraine and the Russia war, and then the oil price rise up. So the stock market is dying. And then just by a few weeks, then they said that a sustainable investing is being shaken up. So this is, I don't want to use the word of bullshit, but actually it is. Right? If you always follow this kind of noises from the market, you will become mad again, right? You will become mad and then better, and then you will become mad again, something like that. So I just hear, I just watch, but I won't follow that, right? Some of my readers ask why we do not add OXY into our portfolio. And then the only one reason is I'm not familiar with this company. That's the whole story. I did not follow that. I never followed that. And I think this increment on the share price, you can see that from the screen. In the past 1 month, the stock prices risen nearly 50%. I think it's because Warren Buffett continues to buy in, right? That's what it is. And this is not the reason for me to buy in. That's the whole story, right? And so there is a news yesterday accompanied with the rise of NVIDIA share price is NVIDIA will do the JV, that means the joint venture with Intel, to produce the GPU. We know that for TSM, the biggest customer is Apple. And then the second biggest customer should be NVIDIA. And now if NVIDIA also work together with Intel, that is quite funny, right? Because it knows a lot of details of TSM. And then she joined hand with Intel. And Intel is the competitor of TSM now. So it's quite interesting, right? Quite interesting. And then actually for the next generation chip, right, is under processing. That means no matter is for the foundry of TSM and for GPU, it's also going into the next generation. So it's keep on moving for the technology. So this is what we just introduced for Intel. Intel share price also rise at about 6.9% yesterday because it will JV with NVIDIA for the next GPU of NVIDIA. And we can see that for AMD, also rising up, right? Yesterday, it rose 5.8% on the share price yesterday. So we take a look on NVIDIA's new performance report. It just in less than a month, in February. I've been introduced in my Hong Kong channel in last month, but that is paid program, right? So we can see that for last year, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see the segment linear growth of NVIDIA, right? And game business is not as good as the Q1, right? You can see it's dropping 106, 85, 42, and then 37. But for data center is keeping its growth, right? You can see the 79, and then the Q4 is still 71. And then for AI and VR, the growth is very dramatically, right? It's very dramatically. And then for the cost and machinery, then not very good, right? So for EV, I don't know how it goes, because whenever the oil prices goes up, then the EV gone, right? We always only, if we can, we only look at the non-JAP data, right? Because I don't have the interest for anything that not related to the main business of any company. So you can see that for Q4, right? And the revenue in quarter increased 8%. And by year to year, that means Q4 compared to Q3 increased 8%. And then if this Q4 compared to 1 year's Q4 increased by 53%. And then for the net income, that means the net profit, by quarter increased 13%, by year increased 69%, and the net income rate is 43.8%. By quarter is 41.8%, and then 1 year before is 39%. So you can see that the performance, even by quarter and by year, is doing very good. It's not slowing down. It's not slowing down. Very easy. You can see that 1 quarter compared to 1 quarter increased 13%, and compared to 1 year before increased to 69%. So if we compare by year compared to year, then you can see the revenue increased by 61%, and then the net income increased by 79%, and then the yearly net profit rate is nearly 42%, and then 1 year before is only 37.64%. So the performance of NVIDIA, no matter is in quarter or in whole year, is doing very good, and it is not slowing down. We can clearly see the figures, right? And then the on-hand cash is 21.2 billion, increased by 84% to 1 year before. And then the long-term debt is 12.5 billion. So this is a net cash company, right? Quite easy. And for by quarter, the net income increased by 69.2%. And then if by yearly, that means annually, the net income increased by 77.6%. That means it is not slowing down. Even by quarter and by annual, it's something like close to, the increment is close to 70%, 70%. And then the free cash flow is 2.739 billion, increased by 114%, more than double. So the performance is very good. So I have made you a summary on this quite quickly for you to see, right? Revenue of 2000 actually is a little bit strange for the season, doesn't matter. So you can count this as 2021 compared to 2020. So you can see the revenue increased by 61%, and the net profit increased by 79%. And the annual net income rate is 42%. increased to about 5%, right? So we can see that actually the net income increment is by 79%. So the PE should be at least 79% or higher than that. So you can see now the share price is chasing up for the net income increment. So it's highly possible for NVIDIA's price reach back to the peak. The peak is 346. I think it's more than 95% it will in a short time. So we are still holding this stock, and I will hold this stock for a long time. I will not fall in love with every stock, right? So if the performance is bad for one season, second season, then I will definitely sell it out, but not this time for NVIDIA. For NVIDIA, for AMD, for TSM, I think they are still leading for the technology of this world for a long time. So I will still hold their stocks for I don't know how long, maybe 3 years or maybe 5 years, I don't know, right? So actually this is our analysis, and I think that NVIDIA share price in coming one season, it quite possible. I think it's more than the probability is more than 95%. It will come back to the peak as 346. So we can see, right? So we'll see, right? Okay, then we share up till here, and please give us a like if you like this video, and then any comment is welcome. And please help to push the subscribe button and then press the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is any new video uploaded, YouTube will let you know immediately. Okay, today is Friday, so I hope everyone have a peaceful weekend. So let us see next week. Bye bye.